Welcome back to the course, guys. Now in this video we are going to look at how to name your brand. When it comes to brand naming, what should you look after and how should you look after it and what is a good brand name, etc. We're going to cover that inside of this video. So let's dive into it. Remember guys, in your branding template you can go to page number 11 where it says brand name, and you have an explanation just beneath the title here on how to write this. I'm going to walk you through it right away before you start writing out some examples on this sheet here. Let's start. Alright guys, naming your brand could be a bit tricky, right? There are a lot of brands out there today. So what should you look for? How would you even go about brand naming or naming your brand? Let's have a look. So first of all, you need to be creative. What do I mean with being creative? If you look on the screen right now, let's say that you're selling shoes, okay? You go to Google and you write in shoes and then you write in synonym, okay? So maybe you are having a brand name in your head and you already know all of this. You can stop watching this video and you can move on to the next video. But using the word synonym after your product or service is a good way to get started. And then trying to niche it down a little bit would be a good idea. So for example, if you're selling running shoes, you can write in running shoes synonym and you can see just beneath that you're getting a little bit other results like boot, clit, cowboy boot, loafer, pump, slipper, sneaker, tennis shoe, etc. But by collecting all of these kind of synonyms using Google or using other websites online, you can basically start creating your own mind map. So from shoe, you get slipper, you get sneaker, you get loafer, you get boot. And when you're thinking about your brand name, think about, firstly, what difference do you make with your product or service? Think about your product or service as a whole. What types of name do you have on your product or service? If you're having several products, then it might be a little bit tricky to go into taking the name just from one of them. So maybe think of your industry as a whole. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're selling or helping people with? So by creating a mind map, you will get better understanding on how to pivot and how to be creative with words, because that is what it's all about. Be creative with words. Make it future proof. So let's have a look at this brand name that I just came up with. Runs for Women. So if I would like to make a brand name future proof and I'm selling shoes, for example, and I'm just right now selling women's shoes and I'm concentrating on selling to women. But then in the future, I might want to sell to both men, children, and women. Then this wouldn't be a good name, right? So by thinking about where your business will be in 5 or 10 years and how you can expand it, you do also would like to think about your brand's name. So you don't limit yourself with selling only shoes to women, for example. But if you are concentrating on that market, then of course, Runs for Women would be a great name. But think future proof. So what can you do instead of Runs for Women? You could write Runs for Humans or something like that, using Zs or S or whatever. And by doing this, you set up yourself and your brand for future success, so you don't have to change your brand name in the future. And then make it rememberable. That was a hard word. Rememberable. So as you can see on the screen right now, we're having Google, Flickr, PayPal, eBay, Vimeo, Nike. Easy to remember. They're short and sweet, and you do want to keep them short and sweet, easy to remember when it comes to typing them into Google's search, when it comes to maybe if you're having a personal brand and you are telling somebody out on the street, hey, go watch my YouTube channel, and you're having like 5-7 words in your name, then it's pretty hard for them to find you on YouTube. But if you're having like a short and sweet or an easy to remember name, then they can find you on YouTube, they can find you on other social media platforms, and they can start connecting to you and with you. Look if it's available. This is very important, guys. So you do want to go into pages like GoDaddy, for example, where you can check if your domain name or your brand's name, if you're creating a website. If you are online, you need a website. So you need to check if the domain name, the name of that website, is available. You just go into GoDaddy.com. I can have it in the resources for this video. You type in whichever website address that you would like to have. You click on search domain, and then you will have a result here saying that if it's taken or if it's available. And that is a good starting point for your brand name to check if the domain is available or not. If it's not available, then you can write your brand name and then the industry that you are within. For example, let's say I would like to have robinandjesper.com. Then we could pivot that a little bit and maybe take robinandjesperscourses.com and see if that is available. You can do the same thing for your searches. And then you can go to a website called checkuser.org. You can also go to namechecker.org and you can type in your brand name here, because now we would like to see if our brand name is available on different social media platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Quora, Pinterest, etc. You can also do this manually. You can go into their platforms and you can search it manually, but this is more or less like a combined name checker for all of the platforms. Just type in whatever brand name you would like to go with, and then you are getting results. Just wait a few minutes and you can see what platforms that these brand names are being used on and which platforms they are not being used on. And you do want to go ahead and use a brand name that is not being used on any platforms whatsoever. So once you have that, you do want to make sure that you like it a lot, of course. So by being creative, looking in different like word books and doing your mind mapping, asking friends and family what they think, because that can also really helps, and making it future proof, which means that if you are having an outlook of your business right now, and you're thinking maybe 5 to 10 years ahead, where would you like to be? What type of name is going to relate to that type of business and type of products and services that you are going to sell? Are you a personal brand? Can you then take your name and then your industry to combine it together if it's already taking out there? Make it memorable, make it short and sweet. Don't use too many letters. Don't mix too many letters up together, so that when you are talking to a potential customer or to anybody on your travels or anywhere you are in the world, it should be easy for them to go into Google and type in your brand name and find your business. And also for your social media, just keep it memorable. Look if it's available. Of course, then you can go to GoDaddy.com and you can go to userchecker.com and see if it's available or not on social media platforms, and your domain name. If your brand name, the brand name that you would like to name your business after, is it available on all of these platforms? Because hopefully you're going to talk about it a lot in the future. Good luck with naming your brand. I'll see you in the next video.